Hello, my fellow humans, and welcome back to Scatter Love Tarot with your girl coming at you with another pick a card reading. Today we are going to do How Do People See You Right Now? Keeping in mind these are general readings, so take what resonates and leave what does not. Knowing that as you interact with the channel by liking, commenting, and subscribing, it does allow me an opportunity to, to directly connect with your energy and get you out more resonant readings. I apparently have the hiccups for some unknown reason. So if you are interested in supporting the channel further, you'll find all those links below in the description box. You can email me for a personal reading and I'll get you out further information. You can also follow me on over to my podcast at Scatter Love Radio, which is a fun, chill hangout session with yours truly. And I do hope to see you there. So with that being said, if you are a returning subscriber or viewer, thank you so much for coming back to my channel and spending this time with me. I'm truly honored to have you here. It's such a blessing to have you along this journey. And if you are new, welcome. This is a reminder that this is a safe space, that we are all having the human experience here, and that you can come as you are, as your most high, authentic self in this here, now, here moment. A couple of things. So I will be having memberships releasing soon if that's something that you're interested in supporting the channel further. Remembering that all of those that do support me through readings or through donations, which are available, which is never mandatory. Just remember, it is through love and light, and that's all it is. Or if you choose to purchase memberships, remembering that I will be pouring that all back into the channel to serve you better, to bring you a more integrated experience. And I'm also I'm trying to figure out some different ways to give back to you through those areas, right? Like, you've been supporting me, you guys have been doing an amazing job, just being you, showing up and allowing me to connect with you in such a wondrous way. And I want to give back to you, so I am working on different avenues in order to do so. All right, so I also have a couple of new decks that I'm introducing today. The first and foremost, I absolutely love these. They're both they're pretty small, but the first one is the Mystical Shaman Pocket Oracle. This is by, oh my gosh, I don't know. I'm going to try and pronounce these. Alberto Violdo, yeah. Colette Baron Reed and Marcela Lobos. Okay. That's the guidebook there. They're tiny. These are tiny little cards, but they're adorable. They come in this beautiful tin. Let me see if I can show you. They come in this beautiful tin. And yeah, they're absolutely wonderful cards. If you guys hear the air turning on in the background, yes, I'm in a warm climate right now, so the air conditioner is on. But the art on these are absolutely incredible, just beautiful, absolutely beautiful. So I'll be bringing these out today. I literally just got my package before starting readings, and I was so excited because I got these other cards, and they're called the Pantha Oracle deck. They have this beautiful blue glittery side on them, and they're just, this is all they are. I mean, they're just like, you have collaboration, backup, unity, enhancement, marionette. Like, they're just kind of like this, just descriptor cards, but these are absolutely wonderful. I'm so excited to use these. I'm not sure the author on this. Let's see if they have it. I know that this author does have multiple decks. Oh, here you go. There, it's Mate or number, oro, I don't know. We're just going to go with it. Mate or a number. And yeah, it comes with this. It is an 85 piece deck. However, there is only 81 cards from, well, actually, I think there's 80 cards here. Yeah, there's 80 cards, and then it has a couple of extras in it. So, all right. We've got that out of the way. I have another deck, but I'm not going to bring it out. I actually just might show you guys the deck one day. I'm not sure if I like it or not. It's called the Path of Horrors Tarot, and it is connected to the Rider-Waite-Smith. And as you know, I don't read Rider-Waite-Smith. I read Tarot Marseille. And I got it because it was just an opportunity for me. And so I went ahead and I got it. It is pretty intense. But with Halloween having just passed, if it was closer to Halloween, that would be a perfect Halloween deck. It's kind of got like the ghouls and the skulls and all that stuff on it. And it's pretty, I mean, the artwork on it is intense. I was checking that out. So I will show you on down the line that deck. I do like to keep things pretty light here, but I appreciate any good artwork. So, because I'm not an artist like that, and so any good artwork is always something that's fun. All right, let's go ahead and get into your prayer, and we will go ahead and start this reading. I've got quite a bit to do today, so we're just going to get it into it and get it out. My beloved sources, prayers for any and all who come onto this video. May they be blessed. May be blessed in so many different ways. Sometimes blessings for one is not blessings for another, but as we come up into the cold months, I ask for warmth and protection and shelter for those that need it most. I ask for clarity and conciseness as they drive through these treacherous winter conditions. I ask for, as family draws closer, that we're able to receive our family with love and open arms, and that they too are able to receive us with love and open arms. As we near these holiday season, each day stepping closer to sometimes some of the hardest days for many, many of us, thinking that we need to fulfill some role, or that we need to have some sort of status, or that we need to have some of the best gifts or whatever it is. And I ask that you help abolish this belief and remember and help us to remember that us as ourselves is the gift, that we're truly celebrating life as we come into these shorter times. And it is a time of reflection and remembering our truth within, and not trying to impress others out there, because it's not what this journey is. This journey is truly about residing within the stillness and the peace of your mercy and your glory. I ask that you bring us all into your hand, into your love, and into your light, and embrace us and remind us of just how loved that we truly are. As these words are spoken unto this reading and into this space, so shall they be. Amen. Aho. Ase. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Okay, I'm going to put this over here. Maybe if I can get it in the hanger. I love this incense burner, but sometimes it's just kind of one of those things. Okay, so I think what we're going to do today is go ahead and get one of the pocket oracles from the Mystical Shaman. Let me give it a good shuffle here. They're nice and tiny, which I can actually hold. I don't really have small hands. I have short hands, and so I have a really hard time gripping normal tarot cards. Well, and it didn't help that I got like a massive deck as my first tarot deck. Like, there's no way I could hold it, but even with these, like, it's still uncomfortable for me, but I can hold it like that. So, all right, source. So for pile number 1, what oracle card will help us better understand how people see pile number 1 right now? What oracle card will help us understand better how people see pile number 1 right now, source? One card for pile number 1. Thank you. All right, well, I guess you're getting 2. I was only going to do 1, but the way they came out was like 1, so we're just going to go with it. All right, so for pile number 2, source, what oracle card will help us better understand how people see pile number 2 right now? That's too many. I just need 1. All right, for pile number 2, source, what oracle card will help us better understand how people see pile number 2 right now? One card, please. Thank you. All right, and for pile number 3, source, what oracle card will help us better understand how people see pile number 3 right now? One card. What oracle card will help us better understand how people see pile number 1 right now? Thank you. And then just so you guys can see the artwork again, we have the Time Master on the bottom with number 57. Just absolutely beautiful. So I do feel like divine timing is at play here on a collective level, that We're all in a period of transformation, especially after having left eclipse season. And it was a long one at that. And we're letting go. Look, underneath that, we're letting go of the curse, right? The curses, the family curses, those generational curses, those things that are keeping us silent or keeping us trapped in the old ways. It's pretty symbolic, right? Pretty symbolic. And don't worry, they have their own meanings. I will read those to you out of the book, but let's go ahead and get these going here. That song, Here Comes the Sun, da-na-na-na. Here comes the sun, and I say, it's all right. I'm a little bit off because I've been not fighting a cold or anything, but just like having this cough the last few days for some reason. So, you know, we're going to go with it. All right. Are they in frame? Okay. All right. So for pile number 1, we have this beautiful tiger's eye for you to choose from. I love the stones that are so unique. That's why I choose the ones with imperfections on them, because they remind us that we don't need to be perfect. I don't know why I'm telling you this. Okay. And for pile number 2, we have this green aventurine for you to choose from. And for pile number 3, we have this red jasper. Okay. So pile 1, pile 2, and pile 3. Whichever one you're drawn to, that should be the pile for you. And with that being said, I will see you over on your perspective pile. Hello, my fellow human. If you were drawn to this beautiful tiger's eye, or if you were drawn to these cards during the shuffle, then this is going to be your reading. We'll put these over here and check those out later. And let me move this around here so I know where I can put my card. Okay, good. First and foremost, keeping in mind that these are general readings, so please take what resonates and leave what does not, knowing that as you interact with the channel by liking, commenting, and subscribing, it does allow me an opportunity to directly connect with your energy and get you out more resonant readings. Also, if you are interested in supporting the channel further, check out the description box below where you will find all the links necessary. You can also email me for a personal reading and I'll get you out further information. And you can follow me on over to my podcast at Scatter Love Radio, which is a fun, chill hangout session with yours truly. And I do hope to see you there. So that being said, let us go ahead and get into your reading. First things first. So remember that we are connecting with another person's view or other people's view on you through their rose-colored glasses and their perception of you that in no way, shape, or form is the truth of your character, okay? So Source, how do people see pile number 1 right now? How do people see pile number 1 right now, Source? What messages can you tell us? How can you help us understand this better? How do people see pile number 1 right now? Okay, so we've got the 5th house Sagittarius energy and Mercury energy. I'm glad that's all in camera. I didn't know if it was. All right. Let me go ahead and get this set up. Okay, so I cannot make this up. Right now I have this song stuck in my head. Let's talk about sex, baby. Let's talk about you and me. Let's talk about all the good things and the bad things that may be. Let's talk about sex. So, okay, that might be one way that people see you right now. Someone who's very desirable. I mean, we have the 5th house here. We are talking about romance and dating and being playful and seeing you as a leader and seeing you as someone that can be very flirtatious and exuberant and like the center of attention, and someone who's just overly outgoing, like I'm not overly, overall outgoing. Seeing you as someone who people are naturally attracted to. You know, wanting to have kids with you, wanting to get to know you better, seeing you as someone who's super creative. Like overall, the energy here, it does feel like there's a lot of people that are interested in you. It doesn't matter who you're interested in, or, you know, what do they say, what team you swing for, that doesn't matter here. It's just like a lot of people see you as super desirable. So even people who you wouldn't normally date, or like people who you're not interested in, like they still see you as someone who's desirable. So if you're a woman and you're heterosexual, women still see you as extremely desirable. They're like, oh, I wish I could be pile one, right? They do see you as someone who seeks a lot of adventure. You're super optimistic. Sometimes you can be extra. Sometimes you're very, very growth oriented. Like you just have a lot of luck around you, but you're always on the go, always moving, always doing things, like always following your ambition, always following what you want. You're very versatile. You are open-minded when it comes to dealing with other people, very enthusiastic, super intelligent. Sometimes they do feel like you are restless, and which is why you're always on the go. Like you're too busy to sit down for a minute, and it's just giving these restless vibes. And most of the time, though, they do see you as someone who is a philosopher. You like to seek out new things, experiences, and life. That you are someone who's always learning and very energetic. But sometimes you do give very truthful messages that seem simply harsh. Like it's not that you're trying to be cruel or ruthless. It's just because it's such a truth, right? It's so truthful and honest that sometimes they do perceive it as you being very harsh. I mean, we'll definitely get a little bit more into that when we get to it, but they do see you as someone who's a very strong communicator. They may be afraid that you do gossip, right? Like with Mercury here, they may be afraid that you do gossip. It's not the truth of you or anything like that, but there's a fear that if they got to know you better, that you're the one that might gossip about them. But I do feel like that is a projection for a lot of people here. They do see you as always learning something new, though. Like you're always learning, you're always delving in deep, you're always observing newness in life. And you may speak multiple languages. You may be bilingual, but some of you may not be. Some of you are just very good communicators in general. You have a very, very unique thought process, and you are someone who people wish they knew for a long time, and they might not have had that opportunity to. But you also live in this realm of duality where you're capable of accepting your good and your bad. And it frightens people. Like it just does. There's like a nervousness here. Like, how is it that pile number one is capable of accepting what's good about themselves and what's bad about themselves instead of pushing it away like most people do? But again, you know, that's just some people, they just don't know how to accept themselves fully. And so you're on the journey of self-acceptance, and through that, it can create a lot of tension for others, okay? So let's go ahead and get some tarot out on it and find out some more about this source. How do people view pile number one right now? What can you tell us about how people view pile number one right now? Thank you. How do people view pile number one right now, source? Yeah, they definitely see you as a leader, someone who brings a lot of hope to people, but sometimes it's like I was saying, like your truth is it's so honest and it's with good intention that it's almost like you basically slap somebody on the face with it, you know? I don't know why, but have you ever seen that? I think it's in Friday movie, like Slap Yo Mama, like, what is it? Slap Yo Mama Barbecue or something like that. But I was actually, I don't know why they told me Friday, but I was actually getting a picture of the Slap Yo Mama Cajun seasoning. And that's why I was like, that's what it's like. It's like you slap them. You're like, bam, like, here's your truth. But you're just telling them. I mean, it's not like you're physically doing anything to them. It's just creating a lot of triggers for someone. Okay, they just want the bottom one here. All right, thank you. Source, how do people view pile number 1 right now? What can you tell us? How do people view pile number 1 right now? Thank you. Okay, how do people view pile number 1 right now? What can you tell us, Source? How do people view pile number 1? Thank you. All right, let's check out what's on the bottom of the deck. Yeah, okay, so we have the Ace of Wands in the reverse with the Devil in the reverse. So I'm getting this, like, they just see you as someone who's like, I'm trying to keep this PG rated here, like, honestly, but they're just very sexually attracted to you. Like, a lot of people are very, very sexually attracted to you. I think that people who normally wouldn't be sexually attracted to you are just completely drawn and magnetized to you, and they can't figure it out. And the only way that they can explain it is, oh my gosh, like, I'm sexually attracted to pile 1, and it's not anything that I'm ever going to tell anybody because it's embarrassing. It's scary. And there's a weird obsession about it as well. Right? There's a weird obsession about it here with the Devil in reverse. It's like you're on their mind constantly. And this could be just a lot of people, like, seeing you as an object as well. Like, you're just an object of desire. So you may be a very beautiful person naturally, like very handsome, very elegant, very debonair, very dashing, you know, like, it's like you're just somebody who kind of looked like you walked right out of a book, or you walked right out of a TV show or movie or something like that. And it's like, just because you really care about yourself and you care about, you know, especially with the 5th house, you do talk about appearances with the 5th house as well. And it's not always revolved around appearances, but in some way it can be, because we are connecting with sun energy as well. And so that is talking about our expression, how we express ourselves to the outside world. And so it does feel like your appearance is something that makes people get kind of like twisted about how they see you, very sexually, very like, I want pile number 1, but I don't want pile number 1 because I'm also kind of secretly jealous about pile number 1. But they do see you as like an object here. It's kind of interesting. They also see you as, maybe that gets in the way of your journey sometimes because you know that you're so good looking, or you know that you're so desirable. They do have this preconceived notion that it gets in the way of your journey. Okay, how do people see you currently right now? Yeah. Oof. Wow. You got all mystery cards out and all in the reverse. So this goes back to that. That's what I'm saying. Like, they're almost objectifying you and placing this idea on you, like, you know, if you were something they could go and purchase, they would absolutely purchase you. But it's almost like they see you as this unlucky person who has tricked people into believing your ability, your gift, your talents, whatever it is, and they see you as somebody who's just very judgmental. Like, you judge people for nothing that you know about. And with the dice here, I feel like this is Source painting a whole nother picture here and saying, like, that's not true. Like, you're just somebody who is very truthful and very honest and very bold about the way you deliver things. Sometimes people need that, a slap in the face, you know, like, with the truth. Like, not literally. Please don't go out and hit people. That's not what I'm telling you at all. You know, but sometimes people need that truth. They just need it so, like, it's just a harsh thing. It's like they're living in such a place of illusion and being delusional, right? That you come along and you give a deep truth and they're like, hold on, I cannot handle this. And so they do feel like sometimes when they meet you or after they meet you, that their whole life gets turned upside down. And that could be that maybe you have like shamanistic qualities to you where you actually trigger healing within people, where you actually trigger this awakening within them. And of course, if there's an awakening that's triggered, we all know, all of those that have been through an awakening, we know that our life begins to fall apart. But does it really? It's the illusion of the life that we've lived in has fallen apart. And so they're confused by this because they're like, hold up, my life was just fine until I met pile number 1. And then when they came in, I felt like they were judging me. I felt like they were like telling me that, oh, I need to stop doing something when they themselves are doing it. And I don't understand how that is. And it's like, I don't feel like a lot of these people who see you in this pile 1, I don't feel like a lot of these people actually ever get to know the true you. They just see a very surface level version of you. And so they're basically judging a whole book by its cover here and saying that they believe they know better than you do, but yet you're someone who actually has a lot of deep wisdom to you. You're someone who's also being objectified here and saying like, oh, you know what? I only want to sleep with pile number 1. I only want to do the bang bang with pile number 1. Let's do the dance with no pants. And for you, I feel like that's something that's like the furthest thing from your mind. And so it's like when people do offer this and you shut them down, then this judgment of you becomes a lot harsher. And it's just because they're not seeing you clear, but they do see you as a leader. Like, it's such a weird energy. It's like so controversial here because it's like they look up to you because they see you going places, but at the same time, when you call them out on their truth, and you may not even do it directly, like you may be just talking about something and they happen upon the conversation, you know, sometimes it doesn't even feel like you're just over there like, hey, you're doing this, you're doing that, you know what I mean? Like it's almost like they hear it from some group setting or something like that. And it's like all of a sudden then they like even more so are judging you. They're more deeply put into this, oh, well, you know, pile 1 only got to where they're going because they're so desirable. They're not a kind person. They're not this. And I feel like that, yeah, I have the hiccups. That is not at all who you are. I feel like you're a very kind person, but I feel like there's a roughness about you because people have done you dirty in the past. Like when I say dirty, like I mean they threw you in the mud, they ran you through the muck, they ran you through grease, they made sure those stains would last. And somehow, some way, through the help of Source, you bleached yourself clean. And I know that sounds so weird, but it's just the truth. It's like you bleached your spirit, and in bleaching your spirit and having to go through all that harsh energy and rough times and betrayal and upset, you've learned to put on armor every day when you walk out. Like you're not just somebody who, you wear your heart on your sleeve, sure, but you're somebody who wears armor, and that armor is a boundary for people. And people aren't used to meeting someone who has an armor boundary on them. Like, I'm not just going to give myself because you think that I should. And so that's what I feel like a lot of these people are judging you. Let's get some more information on it, though, Source. Can we please have some clarifying cards here for pile number 1? What else can you tell us about how people see them right now? I do also feel like, pile 1, I feel like you're in the process of drawing in so that you can go through a glow up here. There's like a spiritual awakening that's happening here. And people do feel like you're kind of dangerous. Like you're a dangerous person in their life. Like, and part of that is because you're living in a very authentic way. Part of that is because you're living in a way that they only dreamed that they could. And it's like, the thing is that everybody could. Yeah, these are people at work. These are also karmic individuals. Okay, so we have 8 coming out over 8 with the Justice. My Justice card is number 8. And then we have the 8 of Coins coming out over the Justice. So we're being shown here that this is a karmic situation here. This is people who have been judging you based on only what they see. Not what they know, what they see. And they're they're like trying to fill in the gaps here. And in filling in the gaps, they're painting a picture of you that it's completely off balance. Like there's no truth in what it is that they're picturing you as or painting you as. It's almost like you're someone who is very hardworking. Like you see this, you're very dedicated. You're very much committed to creating a different kind of life for yourself and not conforming to the way that society has told you have to conform. But these people who are, at least with this pile, they're in this place of judging you based on societal norms. You're someone who sticks out like a sore thumb. And so it's easy to objectify you and be like, oh, well, of course that person's beautiful. The more you shine, the brighter you shine, the more beautiful you're going to be. That's a naturally occurring thing, right? And so it's like, of course, they're like, oh, well, they can just get whatever they want because they're so good looking. And nobody questions that. Nobody's going to say no to pile 1 because of the way they look. And I feel like the truth of the matter is that the reason you're where you're at is because a lot of people have told you no. I feel that. Like, it feels like you've had to overcome a lot, and you're about to come into a very abundant place in time. And a lot of these people are going to be opening their mouth and inserting their foot clear up to their thigh because they had no basis on the way that they were judging you. And that's why I was saying they fear like you gossip. I feel the thing is that I got that in the beginning, that it feels like a projection. Like, I feel like a lot of these people are gossiping about you, and in turn they're trying to make you be the bad guy here. And don't take that personally. Oftentimes the more haters that we have and the more instances like this, the closer to our success that we are, and the more that we can use that to judge that we are on our current path, like we're on the right path here. So what do we have on the bottom of the deck? Yeah, the Ace of Cups. Look, we have the Ace of Cups and the Ace of Wands. Like, Source is about to bless you so much, reward you, and to help you be fulfilled here. And the Ace of Cups in the Tarot Marseille really talks about being one with our divine energy and being one with the divine creator and being one with Source here, and having this place of self-love. And you can really see that here as she's holding all these dolls of herself. It's like every piece of you that you gave away to someone else, you went and you took that back. And that in turn painted their opinion of you, because it's really all this is their opinion of you. It's not the truth. It's not them seeing the truth. It's their opinion based on the fact that you went and you got those fragments of your soul back and you took your power back. And it's like, if you look at her face, like, she's not smiling, but she's not really crying either. She's just kind of somewhere in the in-between here for me. At least that's the energy I'm getting here. It's like, you're not really exuberant, but you're not really like defeated either. It's just, look, I'm taking back what's mine, and I should have never given it to you in the first place, but I did, and now I'm taking it back, and that doesn't have anything to do with you. It has everything to do with me, right? Look, and we have Justice again here. With all these hearts cards, like, you're learning to truly love yourself. This is why. But look at this little guy right here, and he has this sword, or this what is that, a javelin, and he's stabbing this heart with a javelin. It's like, these people really did betray you, and these people want to be seen as something that they're not, because you're becoming something that they can never become. This is like a pretty profound reading, in truth, pile one. Like, it is truly profound, because you are glowing up. You're coming into a different position in your life. Okay? You are strong. You are powerful. We have strength coming out here. You've vanquished an energy. Look, it's like they're trying. Isn't this synchronistic here? Look, they're trying to stab your hearts with the javelins. They're trying to send the black, the darkness, the negativity to you, to stab your heart. And it's interesting that these two would come out, because in the Tarot Marseille, they're different from the Rider-Waite, right? In the Rider-Waite, strength is number 8 and justice is number 11. But the original tarot decks that come from Italy, this is how they are. You have the justice being the number 8 card and the strength being number 11, which is, to me, this is a synchronicity in the reading in itself, because it's showing that you're going back to who you are originally. You're not trying to change so that you make sense. And that's nothing against the Rider-Waite-Smith. It's just something that I've studied along the way, is that the whole reason they switched the numbers here was so that it followed the line of the zodiac wheel, rather than just leaving it as it was. It was like trying to find some sense of making this easy for people to make sense of. Like, how does this work, right? But in truth, it never really mattered, right? And so that's what's going on here. It's like, you're going back to how it was originally for you. You're finding your original energy. You're finding your original truth here. And it's been a lot. And you vanquished the energy, the enemy here. It's like they were trying to hide in the darkness. They were trying to hide who they were. And it's like, you never had to even do anything. Just by becoming yourself and unleashing the patterns of the past, this person or these people cannot keep up with you. And so instead, they're trying to hurt you and betray you behind closed doors, which it feels like for you, you're just like, go ahead, say whatever you want to say. Because one day I'm going to prove to myself that I can do all the things that you told me I can't. It's no longer about doing it for them. This feels like, pile one, you're doing it for you. Yeah, and we have the Knight of Coins here. Like, you're in this place of just being peaceful and serene and calm and collected, and it's a slow process, right? Excuse me, I think this is a page. I'm not sure, actually. I'm having a moment. But this card is just giving me this energy of really like receiving what's yours in a slow manner, regardless of how you look at it. Okay, yeah, that's the Knight. Okay, sorry. I just had a moment here. I just had like this moment of like, what is going on? And as you receive that, you're being given the gift of whatever it is that you've asked for. So whatever it is that you've been trying to manifest, it's coming to you. It's coming to you here. It's coming in a way of understanding. My apologies. It really is the page. I'm really having a moment. I think that's a thing. Like, what was I saying? Like, you confuse them. Like, I'm connecting with their energy and they're going back and forth, but I feel like that's what I was saying with the Strength and the Justice card too, like that back and forth energy. Like, let's change it so it makes sense, but what they're changing it to is just so that everybody else can agree on it as a whole, like fitting into this cookie cutter version. And in reality, it's like when we go back to the truth of ourselves or the original copy, right? I'm not saying it's right or wrong. That's not what I'm saying here. It's like just finding, it feels like that's what's happening here. And so they're judging you based on you going back to your original copy, who you are on a soul level, like who you are at the base of your being. And it's scary to them. Can we get some oracles out on it, Source? How do people see pile number 1 right now? Now is a lucky time. Yeah, they see you as someone who's lucky. And this is a message for you. It's like you're about to glow up. That's what I was saying. We have Seahorse Spirit. Watch and wait. Like, it's watching with number 8. You may see 8s a lot. Like, you may see 888. Like, Beaver Spirit, lay a solid foundation. Like, that's a thing. You're building something from the ground up. And it happens to be you. You're the person who's building you from the ground up while everybody else does their own thing. Whatever, go ahead. And so you're coming into this time of deep transformation here. You're letting go of the past. You're letting go of what was holding you down, the anchor that was in your life. And I feel like that's a lot of this. These could be exes, but I do feel like this is a huge, this to me feels like a huge population of people who know one another. So it could be at your job. It could be jobs past where, you know, everybody wanted to hang out with everybody at your job. Like, yeah, that's what it feels like. It's from people from the past. And you're receiving so much right now. Actually, let me put that here. I don't know how I got more room on my video thing today, but I definitely did. So that's always cool. Can we please get some oracle cards out on it for pile number 1? How do people see them right now? Yeah, something is about to come through. It really feels like something's about to change for you. And it's like, you may have heard this a lot. You may be like, yeah, everybody says something's changing, but this is like, almost like you can touch it. Like, I can almost reach it. I can almost grab it. Yeah, that's why. Look at how bright you're shining. Summer solstice with radiance. Like, there is no keeping up with you, pile 1. There's no keeping up with you here. It's like, they just can't. They don't know how to. Can you please get some more information on how people see pile 1 right now, Source? How do people see pile number 1 right now? Like, and it's interesting. The thing is, I'm going to check out that card in just a second. But the interesting thing is like starting your pile. Sometimes I feel so rushed. But in connecting with your energy, you feel like it's just slow and steady. Let's go at a pace, you know, and sometimes I feel like I'm on here like, and it's like, because I'm able to absorb people's energy and like connect with them very deeply. It's a very interesting thing. But with you, it's almost like you've come into this place of accepting the fact that the journey is just the journey. And it's like, no longer am I trying to fight people or convince people as to why it is that I'm doing what I'm doing. Like, it's just being exactly as you are in this moment. So we do have House 11 on the bottom. Look, friends, like-minded groups, and humanitarian beliefs. So you're about to manifest a soul tribe, or people who really, truly get you, or you're in the process of manifesting that, and you may be bringing in more people like that into your life. So we did have Trine that flipped over here with angelic support, harmony, and perfect flow. This is another way that people do view you. They see you as someone who's just lucky beyond belief, right? This is a lot of luck together with these two coming out. Flipping out, wanting to be seen first. It's like you're supported in a way that no one else is supported. And it's like people can't really put their finger on it. They don't get it, right? It's like, how does pile one do what they do? But they also don't realize the amount of suffering that you've had to go through. And most of them don't even remember the way that they betrayed you. And that's frustrating, right? It's frustrating because it's like, oh, that's how much I meant to them. Like, basically they stabbed me in the back and then they just moved on. Well, that's just the habits that they live in. That's the patterns that they live in. You know, like we have Maya on the bottom. With schooling, study, and education helps your life's purpose and personal growth at this time. The angels will guide you and help you with this process. So you are in this place of learning and people see you as someone who's learning. Let's take a look at the shadow side that's coming out for this reading with the Lover's Tarot here. Can we please have a shadow side? What's going on with the shadow side in this reading, source? Like, what's being brought up? Leaving. You've taken it as far as you can go this time around. Walking away is the best you can do. This is why they're in this energy, because you've left so many connections. You had to. You had no choice. You were put in a place where it was like, I don't have a choice. I have to go. Like, I have to leave. We have escape on the bottom here with love as an emotional escape for you. Be sure you're getting involved for the right reasons. So that's just it. It's like some of these you had to leave in the dead of night. You had to crawl out the window, right? You couldn't be in this situation anymore because it was just too heavy for you. It was too hard. And a lot of the reasons why they feel this way is because you left them in the dust. And it's like, you really didn't leave them in the dust. You left them in their toxic ways. But it's hard for people to see that. It's hard for people to embrace that when they feel like they're not. Like, that's the problem with healing, is that so many people believe that they don't have to heal, or that they're just the way that they are. You know, the minute that somebody says, oh, that's just how I am, or that's who I am, I'm never going to change. Like, you can already tell that that person just will never, ever, ever look at healing. Like, they're just never, ever going to be able to embrace the idea of healing because they've already gotten into this energy of like, that's just who I am. Deal with it. Yeah, so they definitely see you as a leader here with number 10, an elephant. They see you as someone who's very strong, and you remember everything. Like, you remember everything, and they can't figure it out. This is a group of people who are like, how do they always remember? And it's like, that's the thing. Like, I'll forgive, but I'll never forget. Like, that's the energy that feels like it's coming through here for you, Pile 1. It's like, you don't hold anything against anybody. Even though that's harsh to hear, it's like, what was I saying earlier when it's like they don't even remember the way that they betrayed you? It's like, that hurts, right? It hurts. But at the same time, it's like, I can't even hold it against them because I wouldn't be in the place that I'm at if they didn't treat me so terribly, because they taught me that that's the way I don't want to be treated. So we have winter solstice reflection. Didn't I say at one point that it feels like you're drawing away to glow up? Like, that's exactly what this card is confirming here. It's like you're drawing away from the situation so that you can glow up and that you can become who you're meant to become at this time. There's a lot of energies that's changing here. We're walking into the winter energy right now. We're in the process of fall. We're in the process of letting go right now. And this is across at least where I'm at, right? We're in fall where I'm at. And so it's this process of letting go so that we can come into this time of reflection and seeing ourselves. And so it's very symbolic with the seasons changing. And I feel like winter is going to be a very powerful time for you. In fact, I feel like winter is actually going to be a time that speeds up for you instead of slows down. But at the same time, you're still going to be slowing down. We have Vanessa. To make your decision, ask yourself, which way brings me closer to my divine purpose and which way takes me away from it? And that's exactly going back to what I was saying. Like, they have this problem with the fact that you are ever drawing closer to your goal. And in drawing closer to your goal, like, you're just letting go of what was, and you're no longer being in this place of like, oh my gosh, like I have to have this. Oh my gosh, I need to be that. Oh my gosh, I need to follow what everybody else is saying. Oh my gosh, oh my gosh, oh my gosh. Like, you're no longer in that. So let's get some other things out here. Source, how do people see pile number 1 right now? I cannot right now. All right, let's see what came out. Quite a few that flipped over. On the bottom of the deck, we have saving, preservation, collection, and meanness. Yeah, so they definitely see you as like drawing away from everybody right now. Like, oh no, that's not something I can do. And it's interesting because withdraw flipped over here. We have quit, awakening, and rejection. And I feel like you're withdrawing, going into this time of reflection in order to awaken to a new part of your purpose. We have maintenance here with amendment, adjustment, and restoration. You're fixing yourself, right? We had promise flip over. It says responsible, confirmation, and assurance. And I feel like this is Source reminding you that you have a promise that's about to be manifest. We had accident come through here, danger, caution, injury. And didn't I say at one point that people see you as someone who's dangerous? And that's something that is confirming it here. You're definitely been working on feeling like a sense of belonging, like I belong. I have my right to belong where I'm at and in this life, because it made you feel like so many people didn't ever give you that opportunity, or made you feel like you didn't belong. And so something you've really been connecting with right now is aligning to this sense of feeling like you get to belong in this here now here moment. And through that, you're actually going to be able to manifest things in this physical realm. So we have family, bond, home, and background. This could be family who's doing this. But we do have this sense of like, this is something that you're healing generational curses, which if you watch the intro, we had a card that came out that affirmed that as well. And then we have right, ceremony, mystery, and magic. Yeah, there's something very mystical and magical about you that people can't touch. Like, I can't touch pile 1. They're just out of sight, out of mind. No, they're like out of my realm. Like out. What am I trying to say here? Out of my league. I was like, well, I see a baseball bat. What am I trying to say here? Oh my goodness. Thank you, Source. Yeah, you're just out of people's leagues on all levels. Like, even people who felt like they were spiritual, they connect with you and they're like, holy crap, like pile 1 is on a new level. Like, they're just out there. And it's just because you've been so alone. Well, you've been so alone for so long that you've had to. It was 33:55 on the clock when I hit the camera. So let's take a look at your oracle cards. I'm going to read these from the book. They're not very long or anything like that, but they are beautiful. Yeah, we have the sun. Didn't I say at the beginning I had that song? Or when I was shuffling? I think it was when I was shuffling. I said I had that song stuck in my head. Here comes the sun, na 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 na. Here comes the sun, and I say. And it's interesting because we have number 53, which is 8 once again. So we have a lot of 8 on your reading. And then we have the Witness with 64, and that's 10 in numerology, which is a completion here. So look, we have the sun come out here. We have the sun. That's definitely sun energy here. Summer solstice with the radiance. When the sun is at its highest point in the sky. Yeah. And the Witness, watch and wait. Watch and wait energy. That's exactly what these feel like here. Okay, let's see what 53 says. Let me get there. Let me consult my magic book. Okay. The sun. Can you see that? It says the sun is acknowledged by many cultures as the foremost masculine force. In other traditions, it is seen as the feminine in her full power. Either way, it is the most brilliant light for all beings and allows life to sprout from the dark, feminine earth. It can be gentle and warming close to sunrise or sunset, fall or winter solstice. Or it can be destructive, as in its zenith during a scorching summer solstice. Have you been hibernating? Have you been introspective? It's time to come out of your cave and savor the life-giving light of our star. The sun rekindles your passion and your creative energy. Life is calling you to shine your light and add your lightness and humor to the seriousness around you. Get out and play. And we talked about that here with the 5th house is all about play and fun, being flirtatious. So I love that confirmation. I absolutely love that. And then let's see here. Yeah, so it's just important for you to just let yourself shine no matter what people are saying or what people think of you. People are going to think what they're going to think. Like, at the end of the day, it doesn't matter. What matters is, are you happy doing what you're doing? So we have the Witness. And she says, the Witness observes without engaging in any action. By cultivating inner stillness, we are able to assess any situation from a higher perspective and make better decisions. When we can be present for someone else's difficulties with stillness, we are able to truly hear them and give better advice. Sometimes we can also be so still that we are a mirror for the other person. Then through our presence, they receive their own answers. And that goes back to what I was saying. I feel like you just naturally trigger people into healing. The witness that has been by your side all along is now ready to become your ally. You thought that you were the doer, but today you discover things happen when you get out of the way. Witness creation unfolding before you. Change reality by finding stillness and letting your true intent reveal itself. Watch and wait. This, to me, pile one, is the true balance of masculine and feminine energy. Like, you can't get more balance than that, which shows this energy of being completely aligned with your journey. So keep doing whatever it is that you're doing, and don't worry about what other people are thinking of you, because you're in a very, very powerful, magical place right now. I was not intending your reading to go this long, but there's just so much that was coming through for you. This is what I see for you. If you feel like this is your reading, leave a sun and a moon down below and say, I am balanced masculine and feminine energy and I receive my blessings. Give me a thumbs up, but I'm going to go ahead and leave it there and get on out of here. I do want to take a second, though, to thank your guides, your spirit messengers, your angel source, and my guides for coming together to give us this message. And until next time, pile number one, stay human. Bye. Hello, my fellow humans, and welcome back. If you were drawn to this beautiful green aventurine, or if you were drawn to this card during the shuffle, then this is going to be a reading on how do people see you right now. First and foremost, these are general readings, so please take what resonates and leave what does not, knowing that as you interact with the channel by liking, commenting, and subscribing, it does allow me an opportunity to directly connect with your energy and get you out more resonant readings. Also, if you are interested in supporting the channel further, you will find all the links below in the description box necessary to do so. You can email me for your personal reading. I'll get you out further information from there. And you can also follow me on over to my podcast at Scatter Love Radio, which is a fun, chill hangout session with yours truly. And I do hope to see you there. Also, as we get into this, remember that we are connecting with other people's view on you, their perspective of you through their rose-colored glasses, and in no way, shape, or form is the truth of your character. So let's go ahead and get into it just a second. Excuse me. All right, so source for pile number two. How do people see pile number two right now? What messages would you like to let us know about? What can you tell us? How do people see pile number two right now? Rolling, rolling, rolling. We've got the first house, Scorpio energy, and Pluto. So definitely a mystery. You're a box to be unpacked. That's what I'm hearing right now. Like, a lot of people are too scared to get to know you because they're afraid that they're going to get bit. And not just like that you're a mean person. That's not what this is. This is like they're just afraid that like you're going to demand them to be their most authentic self. And part of that comes from you being able to be true to yourself, right? You go out and you're seen as someone who is very light and bright and magnetic and exciting and very powerful in general. And when they get close to you, it's like, oh my gosh, like I cannot get to know pile two like that because I'm so used to living in a very shallow world. And so through that, they see you as someone who's always transforming. Like the next time they see you, you're not the same person. You've transformed some sort of energy. You've transmuted your journey in some way, shape, or form. And it's like there's not even a fear of keeping up with you. It's just like you're just someone that they've never even encountered before like this. Like you stand in your own lane. And your lane is big and it's scary and they just don't even want to cross into it. It's like they would rather try to find a bridge or a tunnel to go around you than to try to cross you and get to know you and get to really be deep with you, because you're someone who just is constantly changing. Like, and it's not even like, oh my gosh, like you're just always trying to change with the trends or keep up with the times. Like, that's not what this is. Like, you're just someone who leaves such a strong first impression that you're someone who's comfortable with who you are. You're very comfortable in your skin. You're very honest. You have a lot of integrity. You hold yourself high. You're someone who's not afraid to be seen as intense And so through that, there does come a lot of intimidation with it. It's not like you're actually trying to be intimidating. And maybe some of you are, but it's not like, it's just through your change and through what you've done and the passion that you hold in life. And because you don't tell everybody what's going on, like you give people very small snippets of who you are, and they're just kind of in this energy of like, okay, like I don't want to get to know pile number 2 further because I'm just nowhere near them. Like I'm nowhere near them on the journey, and it's almost like a lot of people separate themselves from you. It's like they get excited. I feel like a lot of people get excited when they first meet you. And it's like you leave this such a powerful first impression that they're like, oh my gosh, like pile number 2 is so amazing. They left this amazing first impression on me. I'm so excited to meet them. But then as soon as you leave, like they're like, oh, like I hope to see them again. But they see you again and they're like, whoa, hold on. They're exactly the same, but they're also a lot different than they were. In other words, you still leave this very impactful impression on them. But because you've already transformed a lot of energy from that time, like they just don't know how to really take it in. They just don't know how to take it in. And so there's this fear that comes with it because you touch on a lot of subconscious issues here within them. And there's some that are receptive to this, but there are others that are left just completely upended in their lives by meeting you. And it's not even about healing. Like I mean, you could be a healer, yeah, absolutely, but I don't feel like that's what this is. It's just they feel like, oh my gosh, like if I had never met pile number 2, I would have never known that a person like this existed. And then the second time they're like, maybe it would have been better to know that a person like this didn't exist because you're like from a different world. And I'm not trying to talk about starseeds or anything like that. That's not what this is. It's just like you really are someone who embodies that in the world, but not of the world. And that's what's so frightening to them, because it's like every preconceived notion that they had on otherworldly existence, or the possibility of someone being able to be enlightened, or the possibility of someone being able to transform, like all of that is abolished when they're around you. And that's what's so scary, because it's like they can't even believe what they had initially believed in, because you really break that down. And so it's like digging out those deep fears within them, and you make them face it in a way, but just by being you, it's like what makes them face it, right? So it's like they're not actually facing. I feel like you're the person who transmutes their fear. Like you're some kind of conduit. And so they never actually do the healing. And I don't feel like you take it on. Like, that's not what it is. It's almost like you're a channel so that Source can come in and be like, okay, let me wipe that out. Okay, let me clean that out. Like, let me take that out. And it's like you're the channel that they reach through. And because of that, it's like they're left in this place of like, not even feeling empty, but feeling changed. And we all know that nobody really truly likes change. And so that's what's so scary about it. It's almost like you're a conduit. And so people see you as very intimidating, very like too deep for their likes. Like, oh, pile 2 is too deep for me to like, and I feel like you don't have friends. Like if you do, like you have maybe 1 or 2 friends that you consider friends, right? I don't feel like you're actually surrounded by a lot of people. It may be that a lot of people gravitate towards you, but it may be like a one and done. Like I'm kind of getting this energy of hit it and quit it. Not like in a relationship standpoint, but like literally like connections just in general. Like people come in and they have like one good time with you and then that's it. They quit because they can't take the energy again. So let's get some tarot on it. This is pretty intense already. So for pile 2, Source, how do people see pile number 2 right now? How do people see pile number 2 right now? Thank you. How do people see pile number 2 right now? Yeah, and it's almost like you're like, it's not hard for you to network. It's not hard for you to build connections, but it's just that no matter how much effort you put in, a lot of people just don't put that effort back. Like they just don't. They don't give it to you. It's because you touch on all their fears. Like that's, I can't get through like that. Like it's just really this. You touch on all their fears. You make them face the fears that they've had for so long, but because you're a walking embodiment of who you are and being true to yourself. This is even more than being authentic. This is literally like every time something comes up that triggers you, you're not in a place of projection. You literally heal it and transmute it. It's almost an automatic journey for you now, or it's definitely going that way, okay? And it feels like people are just so baffled by that, because most people are like, just trauma attracts trauma, and trauma attracts trauma. But because you're in a higher vibration, it's like that intimidation comes from recognizing that, oh, there are actually people out there who can change. And it's like everything that they're afraid of. So like maybe they're very... Okay, so the energy that they're giving me here is like someone who might be an atheist, right? Like they're an atheist and you're spiritual and you believe and you have a very deep-rooted faith. I mean, I could say religious here, but it feels like it's so much more than religion. Like you may follow religious rituals and things like that, but I do feel like on the off and off, you are actually truly a spiritual being, that makes sense for all of us. But no, what I mean is like you're very spiritual. Like you kind of go off the books of what it is that maybe your church does or maybe your gatherings do. You do things that work for you. And it feels like you connect with an atheist. And they're like, oh, I don't believe that there's anything out there. Like they just go on. And you listen to them and you absorb that energy. And suddenly, just by you being you and absorbing that energy, it's almost like the hand of source comes through you and touches this person. And they cannot deny the fact that there's this energy of benevolence and omnipotence that is shining through you. And it's like it just kind of like scares them. Or if you run into some extremely religious people and you might get judged by them right away. They might be saying things, but it's almost like they can't help but love you. But at the same time, it's like you also, everything that they're afraid of, like the fact that, a God is supposed to be this horrible God that's so judgmental, that teaches us like crap, that teaches us these very hard lessons because we're just full of sin and we're just terrible people in general. And so we have this very strict father or whatever it is. And you come into the picture and it's like, you don't believe in any of that necessarily. You believe in the love and the benevolence of source, and through that, it's like you scare these people who have believed it one way for so long. That's the only way I can explain this. It's like you're like a walking embodiment of this, and so it's like, yeah, you come from this place of being so connected, and they're almost like, because of the way you walk, like I feel like you're super confident, and I feel like you're very... Again, that idea of coming very comfortable with yourself. There's a lot of people who see you as very conceited and they judge you based on that. But those of the people that have stuck it out with you, they see you that you're not willing, you're not afraid to go through the hard times with somebody, to be there with them either. But there's still this sense of like, because you're so comfortable with who you are, that you're just conceited. Wow, this, like, people today, like, okay, so we've got family coming out here. This is family. This is what it is. Yeah, this is some family members here that are coming through for your reading, pile 2. All right, and we have that very clear here with the 8 of Cups. Like, they're just in a very unique place in their life. And that's why it's like maybe you have changed so much about yourself and they just think that, pile 2 is just overly confident. They're just... conceited. They're not wise when it comes to the way of the world. They're not wise when it comes to the way of being grounded in the world, centered in the world. And, it's like you're constantly taking one step forward and 12 steps back. And I feel like most of these people don't ever even actually ask you anything. I feel like we do have a lot of that coming through in the reading today, is this being judged just by what they're seeing. But I feel like this is more, they're judging you based on what they've known you to do in the past. So I do feel like when you were in your shadow energy and in your trauma, you may have fit into some of their stereotypes that they have for you. And that's nothing bad, right? We were in trauma. Like, a lot of people who are in trauma are going to fit into some of those stereotypes. It's just bound to happen. But I feel like that's what they're trying to do. It's like, and then when they're with you, like, it's so overwhelming that you're no longer in that energy, but they're still trying to, when you leave, they're trying to just say, oh, pile 2 is just immature, they're just overly confident, they're conceited, they really think that they've got it, they don't know what's going on. But I do feel like something is changing for you here, and that's what I'm saying. Like, it's like you've been through hard times with your family. You've been through it with your family. Like, there may have been some deaths that you've dealt with. There may have been some losses that you've dealt with. There may have been some upheavals that you've dealt with your family. And you were there thick and thin. Like, you never, ever, ever let them just suffer by themselves. Like, you were there, you were suffering with them, and you always tried to do your best to hold them up. And it's like, none of them thanked you for that. None of them were like, oh, I'm so glad that you were there with us. It's like, almost like now they're forgetting all those times that they suffered, and they're putting on this harshness. Yeah. Oh, the Queen of Swords here. Yeah, they're putting on this harshness about you and where it is that you're coming from, because you've cut a lot of people off, and you've also told them what's up. It's like, you know, like you talk about sometimes, maybe you bring up these hardships that you went through, and it's like, you know, I'm glad that we were all there together as a family. Like, I'm glad that we were all in it to win it. But it's like they just never talk to you about it. Like, they're never willing to express their emotions. That's what I was going to say. And we have the Ace of Cups in the reverse here. Yeah, they're just not willing to express their emotions here. And so you've had to learn how to defend yourself and protect yourself from the people who are supposed to love you the most. And they've got this weird idea about you, because now you're so closed off. You may not talk to them the way that you used to. You may not tell them the things that you used to. They're still judging you based on a past you when you were a child. Like, I do feel like with this Page of Coins here, this is how maybe you were when you were a child. Maybe you tried to eat your way into comfort, or maybe you tried to buy things for comfort, or maybe you tried to do, you know, these are very material things that you would have done for comfort. It's just saying, like, there's this immature thought process that's going with that. And whatever it was, you know, it could have been hanging out with friends. It could have just been trying to buy new clothes. It could have been trying to buy whatever, you know, and it's just this idea of not being able to have stability in your life because there's a misconcept of your money, of your finances. But it's interesting that we have the Page of Coins coming out. We don't have any other reference to your money, and it's at the beginning of your reading, showing that it isn't a past energy here. But we do have you coming out as the Queen of Swords here and being very protective of this past energy. It's like you're not protective of it, protective of yourself from this past energy. Like, you're ready to cut them out. Like, you're like, look, if I have to say goodbye, I'm going to. If you really think that it's because I'm in this place of being conceited, or that I think I'm too good for you, that's not what it is. I've been wanting us to be a family for as long as I can remember. I've been wanting us to stand by each other for as long as I can remember. Heck, I even showed up in the hardest times. I never forsake this family. But there's just so much arguing, so much fighting, and it's like they constantly tried to make you slip up off your path. They constantly tried to get you into a place of imbalance. It constantly put your back up against the wall. And it's like you realize, I'm so different. I'm so different from them. And I'm okay with being different from my family. I don't need to be like them. I don't want to be like them. And through that, you've decided to walk away. It's like, whether that's from the whole of your family or from whoever this is still what they think of you right now. They still put you in this old energy. They still think that you're very immature. They still think that you're not capable of making sound decisions. They still think that you're someone who's cold and isolated, when in reality, you're someone who speaks the truth. You're very balanced. You know exactly what you want. You know exactly what you want, and you're going after it. You're not letting something hold you back, and you're about to receive something very beautiful here from Source. And that could be enlightenment, it could be abundance, it could be monetary gain, it could be whatever it is, but it's like drawing you even further away from this energy. It's drawing you even further away from them. So, like, if you're in a position where you can't get away from your family right now, but you know it's not good for you, like, there's something that's happening right now because you never gave up. Like, it feels like, so, wow, all these cards flipped out. I feel like, here's the thing, like I'm seeing, like, what is it in Atlas Shrugged by Amy Rand, I think is the name of the book. I never actually read the book, but I'm seeing the cover and where he's like carrying the weight of the world on his shoulders. And I feel like that's you carrying the weight of your family on your shoulders. It's like you're still walking. You're still working. You're still healing. You're still doing all these things while you have your family on your shoulders. And it's like, just because you might be in a situation where you can't walk away right now doesn't mean that once the door opens of opportunity, once door comes, it's like you have this opportunity to leave. You're going to. And it's like they're going to be left without that glue that holds them together. It feels like they're going to implode here. But they don't see you as the glue. They just see you as like the bane of their existence right now, which is ridiculous. It could be an Aries that's this way, but we do have the Emperor here, right? You're becoming so like like he's rocking in place. I get that. He's rocking in place, but it's like no one's questioning him either. You have your palace room, you're doing what you need to do. You're becoming a boss. You're becoming so secure and stable in your life. Like it's more than just being comfortable in your skin. That's the thing. And I think that the thing that we have with the Scorpio energy up here is that you are a mystery to your family because your family does not think the way that you think. And you've known that for a long time. In fact, it's probably what most of your trauma came from, was the differences that you've had as a child versus your family. And a lot of your trauma was based on that. And I feel like the thing is that right now you're in this place of truly understanding yourself. And because you're comfortable with yourself, they're painting it as, oh, they're just conceited. Like that's why I keep getting conceited. Pile 2 is just conceited about themselves. They think they're the best. They think they're the bee's knees. You know what? Yeah, you should. You should believe in yourself. You should believe that you're the best thing since sliced bread. And not in an arrogant way. Like, you're not being arrogant about it. It's like, if I don't believe in myself, though, who's going to? Because you guys have shown me, obviously, you're not in a place of supporting me on my journey. Right? Yeah, and we have the 6 of Wands here. And so there could be an alliance coming soon for you as well. So this could be somebody coming into your life to help you get to the next level, who sees your potential, who sees what it is that you're doing. This is somebody at work. This could be a friend in life. No, look, yeah, we have the 10 of coins. I didn't even know this was on the bottom of the deck. We have the 10 of coins coming through here. And the Knight of Cups. So someone could be coming in to give you a love offer here with the 6 of Cups. And the Lover. Yeah, so you have the Knight of Cups, the 6 of Cups, and the Lover coming through here. It's like you could have someone from the past who's coming in, who's finally made a decision about you, coming to offer you love, wants to give you something that's stable, wants to give you happiness, wants you to not feel like you have to be stuck in place anymore because of a glow up. But it could be a new person as well. If not, this could just mean fulfillment in whatever it is that you're doing, whatever it is that you've been trying to do for so long. It does feel like there's something changing here though for you, right? You've done a lot through this hardships, through dealing with a lot of energy like this. It's not easy to deal with people when they're like this, right? Open to the infinite possibility with Starfish Spirit flipping over, number 59. Yeah. You're realizing that you are abundant. Buffalo Spirit, the abundant universe will provide, number 10. You're on your path of purpose. You're doing what you're meant to do. I do feel like there's some sneaky energy coming in here that like your family's trying to sabotage you from behind closed doors or from behind the scenes. But I do feel like overall, it's like Source is saying, don't worry about that. You're protected here. And so however it is that they're seeing you, like, yeah, they're just not on it. Like, they're not on it at all. They don't realize that you're about to come into this place of prosperity. You're about to get everything that you've asked for. You've changed your perspective. It's like you let go of the old hurts and the pains. And, you know, it's no longer holding you back. This is nothing that's holding you back. This is, you've basically said, I'm letting it go. It was tied to your hands like barbed wire. And it cut you so much. And you may have held on to it for a really long time. And one day it was like you looked at your hands and you looked at all these scars and the blood and the indents from the wires. And it was just like you look back at them and you're like, why am I dragging them? Why am I trying to convince them that I'm worthy of love? Because clearly they're trapped in their own darkness. And so when you let them go, it was almost like that's when that guy on the cover of that Ayn Rand novel, it's almost like standing up and just releasing the world. And you recognize that. You recognize that too, but it took a long time. Because I feel like these are, you love your family deeply. I feel like you're somebody who loves very, very deeply. And I feel like there was no getting around that. Family is family. I'm supposed to love my family. Those are what they taught me growing up, but they never showed me that. But I still did my best to love them the way I knew how. But you had to find your own happiness here with Dolphin. Number 42. And maybe that's the reason they're in this energy too, is because you're looking to your own happiness. And, some people just cannot see people being happy. Like, they just can't. They're just like have such a problem with it. And I personally don't understand that. Like, I'm just like, I want everybody to find their happiness, because I want everybody to feel as good and better than I do. Like, that's something that's so beautiful in the world. But yeah, you had to learn how to love yourself with love and compassion on the bottom here. You had to give yourself self-love. This was your journey. That was your beginning. This is what it came down to. This is what you're getting because you chose to love yourself. You said, look, I cannot hold on to you anymore. I can't do this for you anymore. That was quick. Thank you. And it's like, I feel like a lot of these people that are judging you and your family, they're so miserable. They just would rather you be miserable like them and do things the way that they've done them, rather than seeing you happy and asking you, how did you do that? Because it's been a constant change, and now it's all the time you're changing. All the time you're changing. All the time everything is changing around you. They're seeing things happen for you. They're seeing things happen to you. It's like, how did pile 2 do that? But they're stuck in their pride and their ego, and they're not going to do it. We have Isaiah here on the bottom. It is a good time to give birth to new ideas and situations in your life. I'm watching over you, guiding you, and protecting you during these changes. Yes, there's a lot of changes coming. Like, I cannot get beyond that. Like, it does feel like something is changing for you. So, my apologies. I wasn't trying to hit that. I am going to get what the shadow side is in regards to this from the Lover's Tarot here. Okay, thank you. Forgiving. Oh, my goodness. They didn't mean to hurt you, but you are holding on to it. Forgiving helps you get past it. So part of this goes both ways, right? Like, you also always have to remember to forgive. Forgiveness is our anchor, right? Like, if we can't forgive, that's part of our anchor. That's part of a block on our journey. It's keeping us from receiving our abundance. But I also feel like they cannot forgive you. And I feel like that's not on you. Like, as long as you're forgiving, if you've forgiven them, it's not about forgetting, right? That's not what this is. This is just about forgiving them so that you can let it go. And I feel like for them, it's like you may have forgiven them, but they're not forgiving you. Like, they're holding you responsible for something that's not even yours to be held responsible for. Rocky. It has been a rough, rocky road for you. You must decide whether it's worth it to keep on going. That's what it was for you. It was rough. It was terrible. It was turbulent. It was like, why do I got to put up with this? And you realize that I don't have to hold on to them like that anymore. Like, I don't have to do that anymore. So what else do we have here? Yeah, power, lightning. You're taking back your power. Realizing the duality in this situation. Like, just because they're dark doesn't mean that I have to be. I can be the light here. But understanding, too, is like that they helped you get to a point. I feel like that's a deep message that's coming out for the collective right now. And a lot of, at least my readings, is that it's learning and recognizing that the people that we've met in our lives and the things that have happened between us are helping us to get to a better place. And remembering that we have something to learn deeply about ourselves on that journey. And I do feel like that's exactly what's going on here. You're definitely embracing some sort of inner truth here. And maybe it's some inner truth in opening up your heart and allowing yourself to love again. Pluto, again, transform. Yeah, they're very clear that you've been transforming so much here. Like, Source is not hiding that at all. Like, you're different. You're so different. Your family doesn't know how to get to know you because you're so different. And this doesn't have to be like blood relatives. This could be people that you've considered to be like family, like friends, right? This could even be a husband, a spouse, and kids. And I know that's really a difficult situation to be in, but remembering that you're doing this for yourself, and that's okay. That's not selfish. Even if people make you feel like it is selfish, that's because they don't understand the journey, and they're happy doing the things that they've always done that have left them in a state of misery. So let them stay there. We have Sonia. I bring you a message from your deceased loved one. I am happy, at peace, and I love you very much. Please don't worry about me. This is what I was getting earlier. Like, you've gone through a lot of loss together. There could be a death here that was very significant in your life. And, you know, like a mother, a grandmother, a brother, like a sister, a father, a grandfather, like someone who's very close to the whole family. It could have even been an auntie and uncle or a cousin. It's just showing, and I know that's a huge array, but it's going to be different for everybody. But what I'm saying here is it's like, this is confirming what I was feeling earlier, is that there was a deep loss here, like a death in the family is coming through here. And I bring you a message from your deceased loved one, right? It's like you've come to terms with the fact that they had to leave this realm, and it's part of your spiritual growth was them leaving this realm. It was hard, it was difficult, it was upsetting, it was tragic, it was everything that was hard to deal with. But it's almost like you learned that through understanding all of this, that it had to be that way. And it's like, sometimes, why do I get this feeling like there's like an intuitive knowing from someone that maybe you think or you believe, or you have this intuitive notion that your family had sometimes wished it was you. And this is really rough, and I'm not trying to, but this is something that just came through so strong. It hit me in my heart chakra. It's like, my family wished it was me instead. And maybe they've told you that, or maybe they haven't, but it does feel like Source is bringing it up because it's something that you had to forgive them for. Whether they said it or they didn't, or they made you feel like that, it was like something that's a huge place of forgiveness for you, because it's realizing that you know that everything happens exactly as it's meant to in this moment. So for whoever it was that left this realm, it was their time, and there was nothing that could change that. No matter how much someone wishes it to be else, you know, something else, it's not ever going to be that. It was part of what had to happen now. And it's like, you're okay with that. But it does feel like here there's this energy where it's like someone either told you they wished it was you instead. And I'm so sorry, Pile 2. I am so sorry about that. Like that no, it never was meant to be you. And whoever it is that passed away, like, they already had a contract that was set for them to leave at the time that they left. If you're still having a hard time with that, because if they made you feel that rotten or that terrible, and while you can still do the healing, and that may be why forgiving is coming up here too, is not only forgiving them, but forgiving yourself. Maybe for believing them. Maybe for thinking that you weren't worthy enough of having the life that you're having, or maybe for the fear of not being able to let your light shine, because if you let your light shine, then maybe I'm not doing justice for the one that's passed away. And that's not at all what they want. My dog just cried in the other room. Made a loud cry. I don't know if you caught that or not, but she was just sighing, and sometimes she cries when she sighs, like it's just a sign of comfort. Like, you're doing exactly what you're meant to do. This really got me. You are someone who's meant to change the world. And if you're not here to change the whole of the world, you're here to change the direction of the way your family's going, because family should be there for one another, no matter what. It should be, that's where the safety circle is, but I feel like that circle's been broken, and there's never ever been any safety there for you. And your family just is too blind to see it. Like, they just don't see it because they don't see the world that way. They just see it as every man for themselves, every woman for themselves, every person for themselves. And so if you become successful, they want you to feel bad because they want to put it on you that you you didn't do your duty. And Source is over here saying, like, what duty exactly was that you owe them? There isn't one. There isn't one. So I'm going to get some of these cards out. We'll just see a little bit more into your reading. Source, how do people currently see pile number 2 right now? What else would you like to say? How would people see pile number 2 right now? What else would you like to say, Source? Yeah, I think you're about to buy a home. Or you could be a real estate agent, but I do feel like you're about to buy a home. Okay, thank you. What else? What else, Source? What else? Oh, I didn't want that many. Okay. Oh, that one. I do want to give you a big, gigantic hug, pile 2. Like, seriously, because I just... No one should ever have to feel like it should have been them instead of another person. We can't understand the reason that Source does what Source does. But we know that it's with purpose. Look, we have stress on the bottom here. Headache, pressure, lack of sleep. Number 73. This has been the end of a cycle for you, is letting go of the stress that's been caused by those that you love, those around you. They've really made you feel terrible. And I feel like the thing is like, even though it may be from a subconscious place, like it's almost like they're so used to, they're so used to bullying other people. Because when they feel bad, they want other people to feel bad. And they got used to bullying you. So we do have real estate here with wealth, investment, and mega projects. So that could be something that's happening. You could be getting a home. You could be getting wealth here. You could be in a place where you're going to have investments come in. You could have a project that's about to take off. We do have third wheel here. Enemy, distrust, flirtatiousness with number 37. So we do have 73 and 37 coming out together here. Mirroring numbers. You may see mirroring numbers a lot. We also have 1010 showing you're on your path of purpose. So people trying to make you feel like you don't belong or doing things behind your back. This could be a spouse that's making you a third party. And that sounds weird. How can a spouse make me a third party? Well, because they could be building a stronger relationship with someone else right now because you're glowing up. And I'm so sorry. Just remember to always choose yourself. You deserve to choose yourself. Yeah, we have trap here. Victim, alert, trick. Like, they're trying to... Like, this is that energy that I'm getting. Like, it's just not a good energy here. Trying to trick you into giving up what it is that you're doing. Because they're too proud. So we do have self-esteem, self-worth, and ego. And I feel like you're in this place of understanding your worth. But I feel like they're too proud to ask you. And I feel like they're coming from a place of ego. Inducement. We have persuasion, bribe, and temptation. Yeah. This is such a trip. Like, they're really trying to get you out. Like, it's almost like they're trying to get... I feel like this is family that's trying to get other people involved to make you do things that they want you to do. And you picked up on it right away. Compromise, agreement, reconciliation, and consideration. And I feel like that's a thing. Like, I feel like you're the one that's in the middle all the time. Like, you're the one that's always trying to make things better. Yeah, but you're about to be gifted with this beautiful treasure. We have abundance, valuable enrichment. Like, I do feel like Source is about to bring that in. Like, we have wealth and investment over here. Abundance, value, enrichment, like treasure. You can't get more lucky than that. So we do have marionette with dictatorship, domination, and reluctance. Like, this is somebody who wants you to be their puppet. Whoever this person is, like, they just cannot see you being successful. They don't like the idea of you being successful because they can't control you anymore. We have readiness. We have preparation, prompt, and arrangement. Like, you're ready. You're ready to take on the world. And you're doing it. And then last but not least, we have 77 with stubbornness, selfishness, mullish attitude, and arrogance. This is why they're selfish. This person is stubborn because they're selfish. They don't want you to be successful. Plain and simple, they don't want you to be successful. So let's take a look at your Shaman Oracle card. I'm going to read this out of the book for you here. We have the Rainmaker with number 42. Look, we have 4242 coming out here. So I feel like that's significant for you. I'm going to leave this out because you had to go and find your happiness. Let's check out what the Rainmaker says. I really wasn't trying to make this a super long reading. I know many of you love these longer readings, but sometimes I want to make the shorter ones so I can get more out for you. But I know it just is what it is. It was meant to be this way. So we do have, let me see if you can see that. Okay, we have the Rainmaker is the master of manifestation. Thank you, Source. Who can call on the elements of nature to serve the greater good. When the power to co-create is used with integrity, great beauty and benefit flow to all. When this power is used for personal gain only, everyone suffers. When the earth is parched, the Rainmaker calls the waters from the heavens, and all that is dormant in the fields and in people's hearts brings to life again. The Rainmaker is calling you to create something new from the elements that are already in your life. Be sure to work with what is, and not with what might be or could have been. The seeds that have been silently germinating in your heart will burst forth ready for the sunlight. Don't hold back. Put all your chips on the next roll of the divine dice. Yeah, you're about to do something amazing. You're about to change something in your life. Like, you're about to see everything come to fruition here. Letting go of the stress. Letting go of these people who don't appreciate you. Like, what was I saying? It's like they don't want to get to know you. They don't want to hear what you have to say. And this person's sticking their finger in their ears. Like, they're just too arrogant to see the truth of you. And it's just frustrating. I'm so sorry that you've had to be in a situation like this. Even if this is friends or people who are around you, like, you should never have to be in a situation like this. And just remember that going through this made you so strong. Like, the resiliency of you as a person and character is incredible. And I hope that you always remember that. Okay, so if this resonated with you, put 4242 down below and say, I call in my happiness and my abundance, because you're manifesting that right now, okay? Leave me a thumbs up. I'm going to go ahead and leave it there, though, and get on out of here. I do want to take a quick second, though, to thank your guides, your spirit messengers, your angel source, and my spirit guides for coming together to give us this message. And until next time, pile number 2, stay human. Bye. Hello, my fellow human. If you were drawn to this beautiful piece of red jasper, or if you were drawn to this card during the shuffle, then this is going to be a reading on how do people see you right now. Okay, so keeping in mind that this is a general reading, so please take what resonates, leave what does not, knowing that as you interact with the channel by liking, commenting, and subscribing, it does allow me an opportunity to directly connect with your energy and get you out more resonant readings. Also, if you are interested in supporting the channel further, you will find all the links below necessary to do so. Let me move this over just a tad. Okay, there we go. That's better. You can email me for a personal reading. I'll get you out further information. And you can also follow me on over to my podcast at Scatter Love Radio, which is a fun, chill hangout session with yours truly. And I do hope to see you there. So that being said, we'll go ahead and get into it. But I do want to let you know that we are connecting with other people's view on you, their perspective of how they see you in their rose-colored glasses. This is in no way, shape, or form the truth of your character. So keep that in mind as we get further into the reading. It's been pretty tough, so I'm actually excited to do your reading because I did feel like a lift in energy. I also heard that song, "Look out world, here I come, marching on to the beat I drum." I don't know all the words, but it's like, this is me, this is who I'm gonna be, this is me. What is that from? Oh, it's with Hugh Jackman, I think it is, the movie. The Showman, The Great Showman, or something like that. The Greatest Showman, or something like that. Anyways, that's the song I'm hearing. You should check that out, because I feel like there's a message for you in there. So it's like, you do feel like it's like people see you as someone who's very unique and beautiful, because it's like you've been through a lot. But let's go ahead and see what comes through. So source for pile number 3, how do people see pile number 3 right now? How do people see pile 3 right now? What can you tell us, source? How do people see pile 3 right now? Whoa. Okay, so we've got the 6th house, we've got Pisces and Neptune energy. Okay, dreamy. Very dreamy. Like, that's who I want to be. Right? Like, they want to be you. They want to see what you see. They want to live the life that you live. You're someone who's very romantic. You romanticize things, sometimes for the good and sometimes not, you know, but that's okay. Actually, let me put that there. There we go. You're someone who's seen as very healthy, or you take your health very serious. You have a lot of work routines that you rely on. You're very much in this place of taking your day-to-day habits very, very, very seriously. Like, you do things that a lot of people don't. Like, a lot of people aren't willing to sacrifice their time or Netflix or video games to do the things that would get them success. And, you know, we've all been there. We're all human. We've all had those moments. But it does feel like you sacrifice a lot so that you can be successful. You sacrifice a lot so that you can continue to build on your spiritual journey, on your personal development journey, becoming who you're meant to become. You're an extremely intuitive person. People do see you as a psychic. Okay? Even if you're not, like, they think that you're psychic. Like, they're like, oh, pile 3 is very psychic. And you could be like, oh, I'm just learning about my psychic abilities too. Okay? But that they do see that you like to serve others. You like to help others. You like to be there for others. Okay? You're very intuitive, compassionate. You're very creative, right? And you do a lot of introspection. Sometimes you very much draw away from everyone else. You're not, like, always out and about, like, trying to get everybody's attentions. Like, when you're out, you are present with people. You're there with them. But oftentimes, it's like people will find you in the comfort of your own home, seeking solace in your solitude. That's what I'm hearing here. And it's like you're okay with that because that's what helps you grow, right? So you confuse a lot of people because of how intuitive and psychic you are, okay? So even if you're not psychic, you're just very intuitive and you know things. And so you may have some of the clairs that you were building on, or that's just natural talent for you. Regardless, it is something that kind of people are like, whoa, hold on, I don't know how to deal with this. You're also very vulnerable at times. Like, you're someone who's very open and you live from the heart space. You also are connected, like, this feels very aligned, right? Like, this is very aligned energy. From my head to my toes, I am aligned. And the thing is it's like you're channeling energy at all times. It's just like oftentimes you have to find places so that you can ground yourself, so that you stay centered. You also have to, when you're too grounded, right? Sometimes you have to find places where you can go and just be very spiritual and head in the clouds and be okay with it. And there's, you do a lot that goes on either side. Like, you're constantly in this teeter-totter and finding balance in the teeter-totter. And where most times, yes, you're right in the center and it's very equally balanced. There are times when you kind of fall to one side or the other. And so that's why you're very much a person who enjoys solitude. You're a person who enjoys their time to recharge. I feel like you're constantly helping others and you're constantly giving love to others. Like, you're someone who goes out of your way to do nice things for others without ever being asked, and you never expect anything in return. And it's just because you like to have nice things done to you. So it's like being that change, right? I'm going to be that change that I wish to see. And so I feel like there's a lot of people here who have received your kindness, and they see, like, the Queen of Coins is coming out. Hold on. The Queen of Coins is coming out here, showing like that you're very grounded, you're very nurturing, very loving person. And that, again, with that idea of giving gifts, like a very material, right? Like, it's like, not that you're a materialistic person, like you are willing to manifest material items for others. Like, it could be as simple as a candy bar. It could be something as grand and extravagant as a paid vacation or something like that, you know? It's just like, you just like seeing others have a bit of happiness when you know they wouldn't otherwise have it. And that gives you a sense of fulfillment, like serving humanity. That's exactly what's coming through. Look, I split the deck. We have the Queen of Cups coming out. Yeah, very intuitive, psychic, very receptive to others. You're someone who has learned a lot from your past. And it's like, maybe you had been closed off at one point in time, you know, and you see the Queen of Cups here. She's not someone who just gives her cup willingly. Like, she very rarely opens that up to people, but it doesn't make her any less loving and kind, right? And it's like you see others who may be struggling, or you may have some sense that they're struggling. And it's like, you know what? Let me just do something nice for them to let them know that they're not alone. And it kind of baffles people. Like, they're just kind of like, whoa, like, why would pile 3 do that for me? But it's like, where they're asking why, they're also like, oh, I'm so glad that they did that for me, because like no one else has ever thought to do something like that for me. And it actually really was something that I wanted, you know? So how do people see pile number 3 right now, Source? What messages would you like to say? Thank you. The world, here I come. The Marching on to the beat I drum. Yeah, it's like you're different. You're just a lot different. Okay, so I guess you're getting these 2 cards. They want it that way. Okay, thank you, Source. Yeah, you're just different. Yeah, you build a lot of solidity with people. Like, people just really like to be around you. You have this solid energy about you, very nurturing and caring. Especially you have Cancerian energy here with the Chariot, and Cancers are looked at as the mother of the zodiac, right? And then you have Virgo energy again here, and it's like this being of service to others through a very kind and generous place, like recognizing that we all have good and bad within us, right? Like the yin yang symbol. And it's like having that within us doesn't make us less worthy of love, even though some people believe that. And you're like, no, like that's not at all what I want anybody to believe. Like I felt that way myself. And so a lot of people who know you, they see that you've also struggled in life. You've been through a lot of hurt and a lot of pain. And because of that, you choose to love everywhere you go. You make amends by loving. Like that's just how you heal yourself. That's how you heal your past. That's how you heal others, is just by loving. It's like it's not taking anything personal. Yeah, you don't take anything personal. It's like even if somebody's trying to hurt you, right? Like you just kind of turn a blind eye to it because it's like it's just that person's coming from their own place. They're trying to control the outcome. They're scared. They're nervous, right? And so there are a lot of people who don't want to face the reality that you're in this place of truth and honesty. We've got 3 queens that came out in your reading. The Queen of Cups, the Queen of Coins, and the Queen of Swords now. It's like you're very much in this feminine energy. Like you are in the embodiment of the feminine. If we had gotten all 4 queens, I would say it's one step from the Empress, but really truly being in this place of being able to be honest, being able to tell the truth, have integrity, being able to make manifest what you're asking for, to ground that into this reality, and to be able to love from a very deep place without overextending yourself. And so people do see you as somebody who's very feminine by nature. Like even if you're masculine on here, it's like maybe you lived in your masculine energy for so long and you're working on healing your feminine energy, and it is very clearly coming through here. You know, I feel like the only reason we didn't see the Queen of Wands here is because most people, while you're very attractive, that's not what's in question here, and that would be depicted by the Queen of Wands. Also someone who's very clear at setting boundaries. I feel like you teach people right away how to treat you simply by loving them and being unaffected by them as well. It's like even if somebody does something that may have triggered you in the past or may have made you feel like a certain way in the past, like that doesn't do that now. And you come from this place of recognizing that and still being the same person with them no matter what, like showing up from a place of deep love and encouragement. Even if this person is malicious to you, it's like while you're present with them, you're present, you're still yourself. You never let people uproot you from your energy. And with that, it's like they see you as someone who's this guiding light in their life. Like, oh my gosh, and it's not even about attraction anymore. This comes down to like when people meet you, like they're just plain awestruck by you. It's like they fall in love almost immediately with you. And it's like you may have had a lot of suitors in your life as well, like people who are like, oh, I want to be in your life, I want to have a relationship with you, but then you often see that they have a tendency to run out here. And it's because the thing is that they see it as, this feels like 2 people. Like this feels like you coming out in the reading here, and the clear message here is this is a lot of other people here. They just don't want to face the reality that they can't control you by their fears and anxiety or control you with their actions because you're so grounded in what it is that you're doing. And so there's a lot of immature people here that you've had to turn away, and you literally have turned away from them. But you're also not affected by it. You've left them with a very profound truth. You've left them with an ability to heal, or at least the tools to heal on their journey. And so I feel like before, people have seen you be in a position where you were run by your own fears and anxiety. And so how people see you now is someone who's very grounded and rooted in the direction that you're going. It's like whatever it is that's coming in your life, you're creating that. because you've taken action, you've lived in that masculine energy. And even if you are the divine feminine here, it's like, that's fine. It's like you lived in that masculine energy, you took action towards that, and now you're letting yourself reside in the femininity of receiving what's rightfully yours. And so it's coming to you, and it's like you're no longer stuck in your head here. You have come into a clear place, very observant of where you are. And honestly, it's interesting. It's not even showing really how they see you. It's just kind of pointing at the fact, like, I mean, they do see you as this strong individual. So these could be people who have seen you or know your story, right? Maybe you share your story with people to help them heal. So whatever it is that you're at, it's like these are people who recognize that you've been through a lot with someone or with other people and had your heart broken, had abuse, had some sort of, some sort of emotional, mental, or physical abuse in your life. And now it's like, I don't want that in my life anymore. And so I've healed that aspect of who I am. But let me share that. You know, the Queen of Swords can be a very communicative person. She's very open about what's going on while protecting herself, right? She protects what's hers. She doesn't overextend herself, but she tells the truth as it is. And she explains things from a very balanced and justified way, right? She's very justified, very equal mindset, right? Like, okay, well, they were in their own hurt and pain. Like, I'm not gonna let that affect me. I'm not gonna let that faze me. And so you're actually being lifted up by a lot of people right now, because they see you as someone who brings a lot of spiritual healing into their life, healing that they wouldn't have otherwise received because of broken hearts, because of people doing them wrong, because of people who have taken them on a wild ride and it wasn't a fun one to begin with. You help others see the perspective of their own minds and their hearts, and you help open them up to that. And that's something that people see you as right now. Like, they see you as a leader, as a guide. More than that, like almost like a spiritual healer in a way. And they see you as someone who's here to help them let go of the things that they were afraid to deal with. Because you don't take anything personal. Like, you don't let it phase you. You don't let it change who you are. You grow from it. Almost like it's something that's come through on a few of the readings today. Excuse me. I'm really not tired. Maybe you're not getting enough rest. I got onto your reading. I was like, all I want to do is stretch and go lay down. Are you a Pisces? Because Pisces loves their sleep. Oh, here comes the ghetto chopper. It's so low. I'm sorry, that's really loud. Like, it's so low. Holy crap, I saw the shadow right here. Okay. Yeah, so they're saying maybe it would be wise for you to go to bed a little bit earlier and get a little bit more rest, and you'll feel a little bit better. You won't feel so... Because I feel like maybe you're just... It's not that you overextend yourself to others. You may overextend yourself to yourself. Yeah. Like, you're trying to accomplish too much in the day for yourself. So maybe you have some unrealistic goals set for yourself that it's not that they're unrealistic. They're just like you're just coming to burnout because of it. But you do help them let go of things that, like, these people see you as someone who helps them let go of things that they would have never let go of. Like, they couldn't let go of. It was impossible. Like, I'm going to hold on to this forever. I'm going to hold a grudge for forever because of this person, because of what they did to me, because of how they treated me. And you, like, help paint the picture in a way where it's like holding on to that is just going to keep you in a place of failure and hurt and not being able to move up in the world. And you want to move up. You want to manifest what you want. But it starts with self, and it starts with healing the inner self. Yeah. Going down the rabbit hole. That's what I'm getting with this card. You help them go down the rabbit hole. You help them eat the forbidden fruit. In other words, it's like you're teaching them to stop listening to that voice in them that says, oh no, they deserve to have my hate for forever. You're teaching them to look deeper. Yeah. and work on it too. Like, to do something unconventional, something that others wouldn't normally do, right? It's not seen as the popular choice because it's scary with the spiders here. She's a spider. It's not seen as a popular choice. It's scary. But here you have the 10 of coins. It's also bringing a lot of abundance here. What's peaking? The world card. Yeah, it's completion. This is completing a cycle for them, helping them complete this cycle, helping them to heal from it. So we have the 7 of wands here. Yeah, I feel like at one point you were controlled by your own emotional ego, and people are seeing that, like you vulnerable about that. You share that part of yourself where you were very human, had very human moments. You know, maybe you did things that you were ashamed of, and you're recognizing, like, the more I'm ashamed of them, the more I'm running from myself. And you overcame not paying attention to those red flags, like what was holding you back, and you had help from source to get through this. Like, we have a lot of we have wands and swords. Isn't that funny? We have the 7 of wands here, the 8 of wands here. We have the page and queen of swords, and we have the 9 and 3 of swords. Like, it's a very mirroring energy here. It's like you help others to mirror this sense of themselves within, and to find it, what they're scared of, what they're afraid of. But you gain help from your guides, from source. Like, you reside in this place of love and light. You reside in this place of truth. And it's like you help light up the darkness just because you're not afraid. Look at, like, this, how dark this picture is. And, like, look at this. It's all lit up. Like, you see the wallpaper. You see the floor. It's like you shed a light on the things that maybe you have done in the past that could have been embarrassing. That could have been seen as, like, oh, that makes me a terrible person. Like, you shed light on that. You show others. You're like, if I can overcome these things, then what's keeping you from overcoming yours? Things that beat you down, like things that put you in, what is it? Nobody puts baby in the corner, but you put yourself there, right? Things that you were afraid of until you recognized that it was a red flag to be afraid of this thing that was a part of your journey. And so source sent you the help here, sent you the help to overcome that, the hurt, the pain, the heartache. And through talking about it has helped you persevere through it as well. Talking about it has helped you really heal on an even deeper level. Like, you thought maybe I was completely healed from that, but it's like sharing your story actually helps you heal. So because you're healing, it's like that naturally is sending out healing vibes to others. Yeah, there's something about making people face their toxicity, and they recognize that. They deeply recognize it. They recognize that without you, they wouldn't be able to face these fears, these hurts, these pains, these toxic patterns. Like, no one's been able to make them see it before. Yeah. Number 33, and your pile 3. If freedom is yours. Yeah, this is something that's setting you free, and you're helping to set others free. Transformation is beautiful with butterfly. Look, 33 and 11. You may see 1133 a lot. Or you may see, like, just these numbers, 11, 11, 33, 33. You may see that a lot. But again, this idea, you're in this creative journey that's very spiritual by nature with both of these numbers coming out together. It's a very spiritual journey. Very natural for you to do as well. I feel like this is something you've done since you were a child. But you also were living in a place of trauma and pain. And until you recognized that trauma and pain, until you were able to heal it, you didn't understand just how strong you were. But they see you as someone who's super grounded. You're just down to earth. Like, even though you've been through all this stuff, like, you're still just down to earth. No matter what happens to you, you're so approachable. You're easy to talk to. You're someone that they can share their story with, and they don't have to fear that. What else would you like to say, Source? Yeah. There's a lot of upset in your past. I feel like at one time you were angry at everything, but it's something you released. I feel like you were just angry in general. Like you just had a lot of anger inside of you, a lot of volatility. Like it was just like at any one moment you could blow and someone would feel the bite of that. And that was something that you had to come to terms with to release. That was what you completed. That was a cycle that you completed. And Source helped you. I love these cards. Yeah, Source helped you here. It's like, what was difficult for you to let go of? Like there's something that was really heavy that happened to you. Maybe multiple heavy things that have happened to you. And it was like at one point in time you couldn't let it go because it was like that. It was just like you were like exactly how these people were. It was just, I can't let this go. But something changed with Uranus, with radically change here. Something changed so much. Like there was no other alternative. You had to let it go. So that you could become self-confident. So that you could let your creativity flow. And you chose to be loyal to Source because of that. Like loyal to your faith, to your journey, to yourself. Celeste. A happy move to a new home or place of employment is in the works. This movement will usher in positive new energy. Yeah, so something's changing. That has been something across the board all the way. Like there's a lot of manifestations that are about to come through here. We have Archangel Raphael. I'm helping you heal physical challenges in yourself and others. You are a healer like me. I cannot make this stuff up. Like at all. I can't make it up. It's so profound. I love that. I absolutely love it. Let's find out what the shadow side that's being healed here is with the Lover's Tarot. Source, can you tell us what the shadow is that's being brought up here for pile number 3 in themselves and in others? What's the shadow self that's being brought up here? Okay, thank you. On the bottom, we have needs. If emotional needs aren't being met, it's time to reassess. Touch is important too. Yeah, so this had to do with your needs. I do feel like it had to do with romantic frustration for you. Like you had your heart broken many times by lovers, or it could just be family and friends. Like it doesn't have to be lovers, right? But I feel like you had your heart broken and that's why you had to let go of your needs weren't being met. All right, let's see what we've got coming through here. Miracles are endless with number 15 in Cow Spirit. 6 is also a very important number for you. 6 is showing that you're finding solutions to your journey as well as healing and seeing yourself through eyes of love. So there's a miracle about to happen in your life. And I feel like a lot of people who look up to you and respect you, you could have a platform of some kind, or just maybe you're a counselor, or you're like in the medical profession, or, you know, whatever it is. Like you deal with people on a general basis and all these people benefit from knowing you. I feel like they're about to experience you glowing up and getting a promotion or going to the next level. And they're all actually very excited about it, right? A new place of employment. Maybe you're about to open your own practice or something along those lines. And everybody's just so excited for you because you've made such an impact in their life. Yeah, with dogs. And we have companionship here with number 41. Because they love you. Like these are people who love you. They care about you. They care that you do well. They're rooting for you on the sidelines. Like they're cheering you on for sure. Focus. Yeah, they see you as someone who's very focused, very connected to Source. Very intuitive. Again, this idea of intuition. We have amethyst crystals here, and amethyst is the gemstone for Pisces. Does great. It does great for anybody, but especially if you're Pisces. Like that's why you'll see me with so many amethysts. And I very rarely ever buy an amethyst. In fact, I think I've only ever purchased this one. I got this one as a gift. I got this one as a gift. I got this one as amethyst tends to find me. I have so many that I've been given as a gift, and very rarely do I purchase amethyst. It just tends to come to me in gifts. It's kind of funny to me how that happens. But amethyst is such a powerful stone crystal if you are a Pisces, and we have Pisces energy so strong coming in here through this reading. And so there's a lot of focus here. There's also a lot of guides coming through here, like keeping you straight on this narrow path, on this path that's hard to follow, but it's taking you somewhere. We have Libra here, consideration, fairness, and harmony. Didn't I say, like, that's why you approach everything from a very balanced aspect? Like, you see both sides of the story. You could have a midheaven in Libra, or that would be your 10th house. That's coming through pretty strong here. That's a pretty specific message. So if it's not resonating, that's okay. It's just that's for someone. But this is saying, like, you're just someone who's very considerate of all aspects. It's like, regardless of where a person's coming from, you somehow seem to diffuse the situation and help open them up to a deeper meaning of what it could be. And it's just a very profound way. So what the shadow is here, alone. You feel like you are alone in this situation all by yourself, but it won't be like this forever. Yeah, so you could very well be healing this aspect of being alone. That's what I was saying, like, it feels like you very much draw away. I don't feel like you mind your own company, but I do feel like there is a sense of loneliness that does come through here. Like, it's kind of like, am I just going to be doing this forever? Like, am I going to be the person who heals everyone else, but nobody comes in and kind of lifts me up when I need it? Like, am I always just going to have to be the person who lifts myself up all the time? Like, am I ever going to get that encouragement and kindness from another person? And I do feel like eventually there is someone that's going to come in here, especially with the dog coming out in your reading. Like, it's going to come, but I do feel like this is the shadow aspect of dealing with that. It's like you've had to heal your fear of being alone. Like, that might have been the biggest fear that you had, was the fear of being alone. All right, so we're going to grab some cards from this new deck that I have and see what else comes through for you. So, Source, what else would you like to say for pile number 3? How do people see pile number 3 right now? What other messages do you have here for us, Source? Thank you. How do people see pile number 3? Okay. Yeah, marriage flipping over here. How do people see pile number 3, Source? What else would you like to say here? Thank you. What else would you like to say? Okay, that one coming out. All right, thank you. All right, so on the bottom, self-love. Yeah, self-concern, self-healing, and independence. Exactly like what we were saying. Like, you're in this place right now of really honoring yourself. Like, you don't overextend yourself, but sometimes you do need to give yourself a little bit more time to rest, because I feel like you overextend yourself for yourself. Okay, like, that might be like, well, you're like, well, but I'm not overextending myself. Yeah, but sometimes we still set up so many projects. I've done it. I do it multiple times. Like, that's something that I do a lot, actually, is like, I'll set up so many projects for myself and I'll stress myself out because I haven't finished all those projects and not realize, like, what I've done is enough, and that's okay. And so then I'll try to, like, stay up later and not get enough sleep. And so it's just natural. So we do have marriage here coming out with sweet love, couple, and dependency. Like, I feel like that's the thing. Like, there is somebody that's coming here. It could be a love interest that's coming, but I do feel like a lot of people do see you as the ideal marriage partner. Like, they want to be like you, even if it's like whatever, you know, like, you could be whatever it is that you prefer. It could be the opposite of what you prefer, and they still see you as like the ideal marriage person. They want to be like you so that they could be that in their own marriage. Does that make sense? Like, it's like, I want to be like pile 3 because that's who I want to marry, is someone like that. So maybe if I'm more like that, then I'll attract somebody who's like that as well. We do have accident here with danger, caution, and injury, and I feel like that's the thing. Like, you help them see, like, it's just an accident. What happened in the past is just an accident. Like, it's nothing to be so caught up in. It's nothing to be mad about. It's nothing to be going on and on and on about in your life, because it's just holding you back. And you help them. And then we have fate. Okay, so this is a sign for me. But you could be a fortune teller. You have coincidence. What is that? Fatalism? Is that how you say that? Anyways, fate with number 10 here. And then you have all the zodiacs here. And of course, Pisces is right here at the corner. Can you see that? Come on. Yeah, it's right there. So, yeah, you could be someone who's a tarot reader. You could be someone who's also, that's why you connect with a lot of people, like someone in the spiritual community. Yeah, it just feels like you've been alone for a long time, though, like by yourself. You've done such an amazing job at helping to lift others up, but you yourself have just kind of been doing it alone. I'll go it alone. Like, that's what I hear. I'll go it alone. That's because it's easier to go it alone, so I'll just continue going it alone. Strategy here with planning, prediction, and mind reading. Look, so again, this idea of possibly being in the spiritual community, doing something like that. Maybe you have telepathy, maybe you have the power of prediction or something like that. But planning is something that's very important here, and I do feel like you have a very sound strategy, but remembering that it's okay if you don't do everything that you plan to do in a day. Like, don't beat yourself up for that, pile 3. Disturbance, obscure, irritation, supernatural. Yeah. So they definitely see you as someone who's extremely intuitive. Didn't I say that at the beginning? Like, you're super psychic. Like, it's unnatural how psychic you are. Like, it's just weird, right? Like, it's just different. And it's not that you're weird. It's just that you have a very beautiful gift. And you're learning how to build that gift up in a very unique way. And so it's like a lot of people see you as being of service to others through your intuitive gifts. And so for some, it's kind of like this, it's scary how accurate you are. It's scary how on point you are for things. And it's like just in general day-to-day things. We have live and learn, experience, training, and development. Yeah. So they do see you as always building on your gift, always building on whatever it is that you're doing. Like, you're always doing it, and you're fated to be here in this place where you're at right now. Everything is exactly as it's meant to be. I do feel like you're also fated to have a marriage here, or you're fated to have a life partner, someone that's going to be there with you for the rest of your days, that's going to be like a best friend here. Aid, mercy, charity, and kindness. This is you. This is you. This is your hand. You're reaching out. You're giving others aid. You're helping them in situations that they completely feel defeated in. I absolutely love this confirmation. Thank you so much, Source. And I do feel like this is also indicating here that it's where it's at here, right on top of dog. I do feel like someone is going to come and do this for you as well. Like, what you do for others, I do feel like it's going to be returned to you tenfold. I feel like Source is planning you to meet with somebody or to get somebody in your life that's going to be your true ride or die, right? The true road dog. The true road dog. Someone that's going to be there for you. That's a person, not just an animal, not just like spirit, not just, you know, your guides or whatever. Like, that's an actual person that's on a similar vibration as you. So let's go ahead and check out your shaman card, and I'm going to read this from the book. We have the coyote with number 12. So think about your perspective has been changing constantly on your journey, right? And coyote is the original trickster known for Native Americans, right? Like, there's symbolism with the coyote, like it's known as the original trickster. And so I feel like sometimes people see you as like tricking them until something actually happens in their life that you said was going to happen, and then they're like, whoa. That's when they come back, and it's like, that's when they're like in this place of, this is a complete disturbance. Like, how did they know? How did they know about this? Like, and it's like something I feel like maybe for a long time you question your own abilities. And it doesn't matter, even if you're not like a psychic or anything like that, like it could just be that you have a very extensive medical knowledge or something along those lines where you're able to help others just intuitively, like, you know, it's this, or intuitively, you know, it's that, when others would have to test for it. And it's like, it's fine if you don't believe me, go and get tested, or go and, you know, like, you don't take it, again, you don't take it personal when someone doesn't believe you. You're just like, it's okay. Like, I understand it's hard to see me as someone who would be able to help you with this, but this is what I believe it is, and this is what will help you with that. And if you choose to come back and get the healing, like, I'm going to do that for you. And it's like people come back to you constantly because it's like they go everywhere and they get told the same thing, or they'll get told, oh, I don't know what it is. I don't know what it is. And so they're left helpless, and you still reach out and help them. Okay. Look, I love this. We have the coyote is the symbol of the sacred trickster, the one who provides detours for growth and understanding by ensuring that things don't go as planned. The coyote brings the energy of divine deception to set you free from the shackles of that which doesn't serve you. Sometimes it appears that you will get everything you want, only to find that coyote brings you the opposite of what you'd hoped for. The lessons offered by why do I keep saying Cody? Maybe your name is Cody? Like, I think I said it twice, and I'm like, wait, hold on. What am I saying here? That is so crazy. Okay. Anyways, or maybe the person coming in's name is Cody. That is very specific. I don't know why that was coming out, but anyways, back to it. The lessons offered to you by Coyote may at first appear confusing, but they are the most sacred and always for the highest good. It says, if Coyote calls to you, this is a time to pay special attention to detours and disappointment, as they are true tests of faith. You have set your intentions and turned them over to the Great Spirit. Yet you may find yourself lost and confused when it appears you're being led off course, off the path leading you to your most cherished dreams and desires. Remember this, Coyote is a sacred trickster and may be leading you into challenges to ensure that you are ready to handle what you've set in motion. Great growth and understanding come to you when Coyote calls your name. So there may be things that happen, right? The accidents that come or things that come outside of context and you're like, holy moly, here we go. And again, I don't feel like you're in this place of like I just feel like you're like, all right, here we go again. You know, like, let me get with it. Here we go again. And I feel like you're ready for it. And so it's like, that's exactly what Source, I think, is saying here. And I feel like a lot of people have seen you do this serpentine, but you're still headed in that same direction that you've always been going in. Like, you're not, you're not trying to like change what it is that you want to do. Like, it's like Source is saying, are you prepared for this? Are you ready to receive this? Are you ready to be this? And you're like, that's all I've ever wanted. I just wanted to be this. And so Source is like setting you up for success when it comes to that. And I do feel like sometimes it's frustrating because things haven't happened the way that they have. But I do feel like a lot of people have seen you go through this. And part of that is from you sharing your story. They see like, whoa, like if pile 3 can go through it, because I do feel like you're a burden carrier. What I mean by that is that you're someone who is designed to carry a lot of burden, to show others who feel like they've held a lot of burden, who refuse to change, that they like see you and they're like, if I had had a life like what pile 3 had had, like I would have never survived. And yet you're still strong and loving and kind and compassionate. And so I feel like that's what you were designed for. And I feel like it's like the detours are getting less and less because I do feel like your growth is in another level right now. Okay, so if you do feel like this is your reading, leave a little dog emoji down below and say, I'm open to receiving my aid and charity from Source, because sometimes we need that charity, and don't be afraid to be in acceptance of charity, especially from Source, right? And I'm going to go ahead and leave it there and get on out of here. Give me a thumbs up. I do want to take a quick second, though, to thank your guides, your spirit messengers, your angel Source, and my guides for coming together to give us this message. And until next time, pile number 3, stay human. Bye.